this 21st day of February 2024. Okay. Somebody will signal me when you are ready. Okay, thank you. His Excellency President William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, presided over the administration's second National Executive Retreat. The session kicked off on Monday 19th and has culminated on this 21st day of February, the year 2024. The retreat is positioned on a unique governance tool within the overarching accountability framework that the administration has established to continually take stock of the progress being made to honor the social contract with the people of Kenya, as well as the implementation of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. As such, this year's retreat featured members of the cabinet, principal secretaries, members of the President's Economic Council, as well as other senior ranks of the executive. This year's convocation heralded new traditions and precedents that deepen good governance practices in public affairs. One important aspect of this was the participation for the first time of the Council of Governors in this forum, which is testimony of the administration's respect for the crucial role played by devolution in delivering a better Kenya for all. Taking into consideration the facilitative role played by the legislature, we also had a session with those that oversight the national government, the parliamentary group. This new practice demonstrates the administration's commitment to supporting parliamentary oversight, deepening political accountability, and creating a synergy in government that better delivers the Kenyan dream. The National Executive Retreat considered various matters of national significance and consequence to our nation's future as follows. 1. Performance review. In enhancing delivery of public services, the retreat assessed and evaluated the individual and collective contribution of every ministry and state department to the administration's plan. The highlights of last year's outstanding deliverables being as follows. Agriculture. The fertilizer program progressively reduced the cost of fertilizer from Kenya shillings 6,500 to 2,500, and the outcome is increased food production by close to 40%. 22 new fish landing sites in 9 counties were built and commissioned, and 4 billion Kenya shillings was allocated for the Coffee Cherry Advance Fund. In matters economy and foreign direct investments, Kenya ranked as the 29th fastest growing economy globally by the World Bank, recording a GDP growth of 5.4%. Inflation eased to 6.8%, down from a high of 9.2% in the year 2022. Kenya was ranked 3rd globally in attractive destinations for foreign direct investment in the year 2024, and the country led Africa in startup capital, securing an impressive Kenya shillings 124 billion in the year 2023. In matters education, the country realigned the implementation of the competency-based curriculum CBC and employed 56,000 new teachers. We were able to have a new university funding model as well as new TVET funding model. 3,500 new classrooms were built and equipped, while 8,200 primary school teachers were trained, and 300% increase in teacher training colleges. In matters health, we were able to enact the universal health coverage laws, and 100,000 health personnel enrolled in a partnership between the national and county governments, while another 20,000 new health care workers were employed. Another 8,409 healthcare workers were deployed, while another 3,394 interns were enrolled in the health sector. In matters housing, the development of additional housing units under the Affordable Housing Program is on course, with the construction of 46,000 housing units underway and another 40,000 units set to commence construction. 746,000 housing units are in the pipeline at various stages of delivery under the following categories, that is social housing, affordable housing, and market rate housing. Again, we were able to secure 120,000 new jobs through the Affordable Housing Program. In matters financial inclusion, Kenya shillings 42 billion under the Hustler Fund was successfully disbursed. The national savings through the new NSSF contribution model has increased contributions from 1.5 billion shillings monthly to 6.5 billion again monthly. In matters continental global leadership, continental and global leadership on climate change, and His Excellency the President the prestigious honor of being listed in Time Magazine 100 World Leaders Climate Action List. Nairobi crowned as the world's best city to visit in 2024 by the United States-based travel agency Lonely Planet. This accolade places Nairobi ahead of well-known cities like Paris, Montreal, Muscat in Bosnia, Jakarta, Indonesia, Prague in the Czech Republic, as well as Kansas City in the United States. Kenya was voted the best adventure tourism destination in Africa and 10th globally. The members of the National Executive, individually and collectively, recognize their historic opportunity to fundamentally change Kenya for the better, noting that indeed, as stated by His Excellency the President during his inaugural State of the Nation address, Kenya is no longer on your marks, but is indeed prepared and ready to go. I want to thank you. Asanteni sana. Let me now take this opportunity to request the President to come and give his closing remarks. Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Mr. Deputy President. Let's take our seats. Colleagues, leaders, as has been said ably by the Deputy President, we've come to the close of this second National Executive Retreat. This retreat is an important occasion for us to reflect on what we have done, to work on what we are doing, and to focus on the journey ahead. I am very happy that this has given us an opportunity as a team to think together, to bring all aspects and perspectives of what we think should be the journey ahead. I want to thank the leadership of the ministers who are here for what the leadership they are providing in their ministries, the principal secretaries for the assignments they have, my team at the presidential team of economic advisors for the support they are giving all the state departments in the different assignments that they have. Now that we have come to a conclusion, allow me to say just maybe three things. First is to underscore that Kenya is a great country. And it is something I wholly believe in, that Kenya is a great country. And we are a country of tremendous potential. Where we are today and where we should have been is a function of leadership. There are countries that were peers to Kenya a few years ago. Today, they are very well ahead of us. Examples are all over. And that is why I said when we opened this retreat that we have a historic moment, friends and colleagues. We have a historic moment to take Kenya to where Kenya should be. We are the leaders who will finally unlock the tremendous potential that our country portends. We have a great people, very hardworking population. We have innovative young population. We have a responsibility to make sure that we provide the leadership that will take Kenya to the next level. The challenge Kenya has always had, and we must make a difference this time round, is the challenge of leadership. Leadership. All of us must step forward. Myself as the team leader of this team, my deputy here, every cabinet secretary, every principal secretary must step forward and understand that we are the leaders of Kenya. And if Kenya is to go places, it is us to lead the way. That responsibility is a responsibility bestowed on us by the people of Kenya, and it is God who has given us the chance to lead this nation. I want to implore on each and every one of you to go out of your way. Let's make it business unusual and make a mark, make a difference in the ministry you are in, the State Department you are in. Make a difference. It is possible. I have been a member of parliament, I have been a minister, I have been a deputy president, and I know, and I can confirm to you, that government, well run, can do miracles. Yes. Government well run can do miracles. We have that opportunity to take our country to the next level. I am confident in the ability of the team we have here assembled, of cabinet secretaries and principal secretaries, to be able to get our government working in such a manner that we transform our country in our lifetime. And therefore, I want you to know that the real challenge Kenya has is the people to make decisions, the people to provide leadership. Each and every one of us must arm themselves to make the decisions that are on your table. it is by making those decisions that we will get the government of Kenya moving. And we will get Kenya progressing. And we will ensure the transformation of Kenya under our bottom-up transformation agenda. So, we have agreed. We have had wonderful presentations by different ministries. We've had wonderful presentations by different state departments. And as much as we have done well, we can do a lot more. There is a lot of room for us to do better than we have done. There was a time people were still trying to find, their way around government. I think that time is now behind us. Everybody knows what they must do. We must continuously coordinate. We must continuously synergize so that we can have a delivery that is all-encompassing. We cannot succeed if some of us are failing. Our success is going to be the collective success of each and every one of us. Do not allow your colleague to fail. Do not undermine your colleague, because if your colleague fails, in it is your failure. In it, let us find ways to encourage one another, to look out for one another, to support one another, and to find a mechanism to make sure that none of us is left behind, that we are all moving because we are one government. The head of public service has mentioned the coordination mechanisms in his office to make sure that there are no tough wars, that we are all reading from the same script, and that we continuously create synergy for us to be able to deliver. You've heard from Eden on the execution mechanism in my office to support those of you who are aligned in some of the decisions that we must make and we must execute, because we have a lot of interventions, we have a lot of goodwill globally from friends, from partners, from development partners who want to work with us. And some of the decision-making in government take too long. I have established the Office of Eden to make sure that decisions that need to be made now are made now. Because if we make the decisions that are supposed to be made now, tomorrow, or the day after, we may miss the target. So let us continuously work together in that manner. Again, let me tell you, colleagues, that we are the leaders, and the challenge is on us to provide that leadership. Finally, we must deal with the subject of integrity. I must repeat that there is no room or space or opportunity for this administration not to deal with corruption firmly, decisively, and conclusively. As you heard in the meeting we had with the legislators and all the other groups, every principal secretary, every cabinet secretary is responsible for the decisions they make. It doesn't matter whether somebody called you or somebody threatened you, don't make the wrong decision. And if necessary, each and every one of you have my telephone number, and it's only one. I don't have two. And I believe every principal secretary and every cabinet secretary has my telephone number. In the event that you are in a place where you have been threatened by anybody, or if anybody comes to you and says, the president has said this, or I am a cousin, or a brother, or a relative of the president, and I want this or the other, please, don't believe them. If I want anything from any one of you, I will call you myself. And I can confirm to you, it will not be about any transaction. It will be about your performance. So, do not get enticed into situations, because that is one area that people get to make the wrong decisions. On occasion, I have called ministers, I have called principal secretaries to warn them whenever I have intelligence that wrong things are about to happen in your state departments. Whenever you need guidance, the Deputy President is there, Prime Cabinet Secretary is there, Head of Public Service is there, I am there, and all the other leaders. Let us coordinate, because we cannot allow integrity issues to derail the plan that we have. We have a population that has very high expectations of us. And their high expectations are legitimate, because they have a track record of my performance. So they judge me by a higher standard than would have ordinarily been the case. And because we work together, you are judged by the same standards, very high standards. So please, good people, don't be told, the principal secretary who was here used to do things like this, and they used to leave at 2, and they used not to come early. You are being judged by a different standard than the principal secretary who was there. You are being judged by a different standard from the cabinet secretary who was there. So please, let all of us, let's pull our socks, let's tighten our belt, and let us do what we have to do. As I have told each and every one of you, you have my goodwill, you have my support, and the reason why I appointed you is because I knew you have the capacity to do the job you're doing. Are we there? Okay. So, because you have my goodwill and you have my support, and those of you who have bothered to even send me a WhatsApp message to ask, what should I do? You can confirm that I have replied. Right? You haven't written, so there should be nobody here who will say that, oh, I made the wrong decision because I didn't have guidance. Get guidance from your principal secretaries, get guidance from your cabinet secretaries, from the next person. And if unfortunately you still are not clear of where you want to go, send me a text, do me a letter. I will help you, I will support you, because in your success is mine. In you making the right decisions, we all get the benefit of moving the country forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am really happy that we are here. I want to thank David and his team of advisors. They have worked with me to support all the state departments on many aspects, and we are working together to make sure that nobody is left behind, no state department is left behind, and no ministry is left behind. So I look forward to working with each and every one of you as we go into the events of this year. And I'm very confident that we shall measure up ultimately to the expectations and the aspirations of the people of Kenya. Otherwise, asanteni sana. It's been a great 3 days being here together, and I am very confident that we can now look into the next 12 months with a lot of confidence, knowing exactly where we need to go and to get there together as a team. Asanteni sana.
Members of the press, we may sit down. Kindly, let's take our seats. We'll take a few questions from...
I'm told there are some